Right fellas, welcome back to a brand new video with my Sapphire Cosworth. I picked it up from Scotland. It was a bit rough when I picked it up. I've done a lot of work to it since I picked it up. For starters, it didn't even have MOT, so I literally had to get it trailered home just to get it in the garage. Then my mate Dan came round. We'll give it a clean outside, inside and the underside. One of the main reasons the car hadn't been MOT'd was the brakes weren't working, so I literally had to strip the ABS unit down and fix this motor. On my last video, I replaced the plastic scuttle panel below the windscreen and refurbished the wiper mechanism. It all turned out absolutely mint. Later on in the video, I had to fix the button on the handbrake because a pesky little mouse had chewed it. So yet again, it was just a case of stripping it, blasting it, painting it, putting it back together. If you know Cosworths, you'll understand a lot of them are catching fire at the minute. So I've got some of these fire sticks. If you're interested in one, I believe there's a competition on where you can win one. Instead of these big, heavy, traditional bulky things, like if you set this off, literally you've got about, I think you get about 10 seconds out of one of these of just, do you know what I mean? Then if your fire continues after 10 seconds, you're kind of knackered with these. These fire sticks, this one will last 50 seconds. It's environmentally friendly, safe to breathe when you discharge it. It's got a 15-year shelf life. And to set it off, all you do is you remove this end cap, and it's got like this little black dot. Then you take this end off, and you literally just rub it on that bit, and like a chemical reaction sets it off, and you get 50 seconds to put your fire out. So we're going to fit this in the car. Like I say, it comes with this little bracket to attach it somewhere nice. I've seen these in a lot of cars recently at shows, so I was over the moon to get a couple of these. I've got one for each car. Inside the car there's like various places you can put this, but to be honest, with it being so small and compact, I just want it out the way. So the place I'm going to put it, right, I'm going to tuck it away nicely in the glove box. Just like that. And like I say, with these Cosworths catching fire, we're going to look at the fuel system on the Sapphire, because I don't want to lose any of my cars to fires. So I'm going to swap the cars around and we're going to pull that Sapphire in the other way. Here's a cold start on my Sierra, and you can see the Sapphire has a paddle clutch in, so it's a bit bitey when you pull away. We've got the cars in, I'll jack it up and I'll show you what I've got planned. A lot of people comment on how squeaky my jack is, so I've got a little oil can here. I'm just going to put some oil on the bits and pieces of the jack light where it might be squeaking, because to be honest, it does annoy me. I'm literally putting oil on every part of this jack. I can see that's got a pin, a nut, a bolt or something that moves. Let's have a look, we'll do the bottom of it. Let's jack it up, see if we've got rid of that squeak. I'll show you the plans. Still doing it. Why is it squeaking? Can't believe it's still squeaking. Let's pull it back out, put some more oil on. Try that. You might just have to put up with a squeaky jack on my videos now. Let's get the axle stands under. I've got them set to maximum height. I've got a big nose. I need to be able to turn my head over without bashing my nose off the underside of the car. That should do it. Something I always do is leave the jack under. It's my insurance in case the axle stands fail. I'm going to remove the back bumper just to prevent damaging it. Well, I found a pair of pliers. Ha! Handy. We're going to remove the rear bumper on the car. It's held on with two 10mm bolts. The reason I'm taking it off is to prevent damaging it when I'm messing about. I am wearing some gloves. These gloves are by a company called Ansell, and they just save your hands getting minging. Like when I take Amy out on a Friday night, she always says, Adam, your hands are minging. So these should keep them clean. If you want some gloves, I'll leave them linked in the description below. Two bolts, Then there's some clips on the rear bumper just here. There we go. Those things. Then we'll rest the bumper on Amy's cushions for the outdoor chairs. The winter's coming, she's not going to be using them anymore. I might as well make use of them. So here is the rear of the car with the bumper off. As you can see, it's a bit tatty. It's an old car, it's 30 odd year old. It's never been restored underneath. So what we're going to do is, you see this petrol tank? They're quite common to leak. And this car to me is going to be kind of like a daily, well not quite a daily, but it's going to be well used. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take this petrol tank off, take all the fuel pump cradle off, because as you can see these fuel pumps, they're prone to like rusting, and I don't know how old the fuel filter and that is in it, and all these pipes corrode, so we'll take it all off. So like I say, we'll take this fuel tank off, we'll get a nice new shiny one, we'll clean up all the fuel system, just to make the car more reliable for when I get it on the road. It has got half a tank of fuel in, so I do need to get the fuel out without spilling it all over my garage floor. What I'm thinking is we'll take this pipe off and we'll put some kind of jerry can underneath so all the fuel doesn't go all over. But you can see the fuel pump's being messed with. You can see it's all rusty. This is pretty common for a Sierra, and it looks like the fuel pump is just held on with like some kind of cable clamps. I am going to be replacing this hose, so I might just cut it, then put like a jerry can underneath. Like I say, there's half a tank of fuel in, so I've got this big jerry can thing what I got from work just to catch all the fuel. It is clean inside, so I'll give the fuel away to someone at work or something. I've only got diesel cars and I'm not putting this dirty fuel back in any of the Cozzies, so I'll just give this fuel away. Right, let's cut that hose and try and catch the fuel. This fuel is going to absolutely gush out here, and I feel like I might be doing this the wrong way. But let's have a go. No going back now, we're leaking. I'm not going to cut all the way through the pipe because it'll just absolutely gush out. I just want it to come out in a trickle. Will I get a funnel on? Oh yes. While that fuel drains out, if you look at the back of the car, it looks like it has been painted, the car, but it looks like they've painted over like a wax oil, so the paint hasn't kind of stuck. So it probably looks worse than it actually is. Like if you get with there. Like right, if I get this screwdriver, you can see if I scrape here, look, there's like a Raptor seal coming off and it's just like wax oil underneath. You see? So I think it's just had a poor paint job at some point in its life. So while that fuel drains out, I've gone on eBay and I've searched for Sierra fuel tank. And you can see there we've got a Ford Sierra Sapphire Cosworth 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive petrol fuel tank with this strap here. I'm going to replace that because, I mean, I could probably blast it and clean it up, but I might as well buy a new one. That's from Sierra's R Us. So click buy it now on there. Right, there's that ordered. So I'm also going to order all new pipes. I'm going to see if I can get a new fuel pump cradle. I'm going to get the pumps and the filters. I'm going to end up spending a lot of money sorting this fuel system out. But as you can see, the fuel is still coming out. Is it meant to be this dark, or is it because it's just old fuel? Leave it to me in the comments, let us know. That's all the fuel out. Literally a full barrel of fuel. I'll put the lid on that before I spill it. That's the fuel out, or the majority of it anyway. There's still maybe like a litre or so in the tank. But what we're going to do now is we're going to chop these old pipes off and we'll take the fuel tank and the fuel cradle off. See there, when I've cut that second pipe, there's still a little bit more fuel in. While that fuel drains out, let's take this fuel tank off. These do seem a bit stuck on these bolts, so we'll put a bit lubrication fluid on. Get in all there, we'll give that a bit, 10 minutes to soak in. You have to remember this car has been sat in Scotland for like 10 years or something. So there's going to be some rusted nuts and bolts. That bolt is just spinning but not coming out. I wonder if, let's try the old wedgie magoo trick. Now, we can cut that off because we're not keeping the fuel tank, and we'll certainly be replacing the nuts and bolts, so that's no big deal. Just adds a little bit of time to the job, but if it was easy, it wouldn't be as much fun, would it? Take this breather off. I'll at least get out of the way. Let's try this bolt that's a further under. Well, this is turning into a bit of a job already, fellas. Right, the bolts are stuck, they're just spinning in the hole, they're not actually unbolting. So I don't want to grind it because obviously there's fuel all over, and the last thing I want in my new garage is a fire. So give us a couple of minutes while I have a think. The fuel tank is held up with 3 bolts and none of them came out. So what I ended up doing was getting a hacksaw and cutting through this rear strap that holds the tank up. Then take the screw out that holds the filler neck in place. Right, we'll just disconnect the fuel sender here, like that, and the earth. Move that out of the way. Look at the mud under this car. I'm going to insert a clip of what the lad sent us who owned the car before me to show you where the car lived. As you can see, not an ideal place for a Cosworth. Let's get back to fixing it. We'll disconnect the fuel pump. Like that. Then we'll move all these. These are like the reg plate lights. This is a fuel pump. This is for the fuel sender. We'll move all these wires up here, out the way, so I don't accidentally cut them. Like that. Now we've got one more bolt to get off on the fuel tank. Then we can drop the full thing down and put in the bin. I'm going to use the hacksaw because, like I say, we've got fuel all over. I do not want sparks. I don't know if I can get in. Right, I think before I cut the tank off, I'm going to have to take the fuel pump cradle off, this bit here. The fuel pump cradle's held on with 2 13mm nuts. Hopefully it'll come off without too much effort. There's one. Turns out hacksawing an 8mm bolt with a blunt hacksaw blade takes quite a bit of time. I ended up swapping hacksaws halfway through and that was just as blunt. When it did fall, I fell on my foot. Yes. I was still over the moon, it came off. Right, now let's remove this dirty old fuel cradle. There we go, I want that one there. Now if we slacken this, it should just all come away. Got a little bit of fuel leaking out there, but that's not a big deal. There we go. Right. Here is the old fuel cradle. I am going to strip it because maybe, just maybe, it's salvageable. So we'll take all the old fuel filter off. Most of it's going to go in the bin, like the fuel pump, the fuel filter. These pipes, I'll probably replace all these pipes, but we'll see if we can save the cradle. So let's strip it down and see what we've got. That's the fuel filter. You have to be careful with these old cars because you don't know what is available and what's not. So you might literally have to save some of this old scrap. That is the old fuel filter. God, look at that. Minging. Right, I'm hoping, like I say, I'm hoping I can save this cradle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the jet wash out. I'm going to blast the muck off and see what we're left with. It might just end up in the bin, this. It doesn't look too bad, to be honest, but you never know till you've cleaned it up. So let's get the jet wash and blast the bits. Now you might be thinking, why am I jet washing this fuel tank if it's going in the bin? Well, it has to go in my daily car, so I do need a clean to put in the boot, and I need to save this filler neck because you just cannot get them, and I need to save this fuel sensor. Tells you the level on your clocks. Rare as hen's teeth, can't get them. They go for big money if they come up, and they're always second hand. Can't find a new one, so I need to try and save all the bits I can. Now keep in mind, fellas, this is not a full underside restoration of the car. This is simply just to sort the fuel system out to make the car more reliable. If you want to see more of my videos, check out my channel below. There's like 300 videos or something there. Check some of them out. I'm sure you'll find something else interesting. But yet again, thanks for watching, and if you've got any tips, please leave something in the comments, because I am by far no expert, so any tips is greatly helped. But yet again, thanks for watching. Check out some of my older videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.